Hello, my name is Ian Tyndale. Welcome to Our Robot Future. This episode, the importance of importance. There is often a difference between the expectation we have of our intentions and the resulting effect of the agency of our actions. Our mind assigns varying values of importance to this difference. Our actions and acts result from which importance potentials competing for attention were the winners. In a typical passage of activity, we pay attention to things, but not to other things. I say pay because attention is expensive and scarce, so perhaps the purpose of consciousness is an attention economy. Our senses present never-ending streams of information about the outside reality. These patterns of sensation often demonstrate relationships with other effects occurring, or that will occur. We evaluate those relationships as meanings, which we label by giving a name. These named meanings together form networks of understanding, usually leveraging a language network which most of us host. Such understandings are highly diverse. After all, everything means something different. Understandings are components of our knowledge, presented to attention networks by attaching importance to the understandings. This dimension of whether something is more or less important than another thing thus motivates our choice of action through competition. A person responds to a stimulus, and in the case of competing stimuli, the winner is the one evaluating as the most important to the person. Occasionally this causes problems, but mostly it governs our life choices at all levels. It is a single motivational dimension selecting potentially diverse choices of actions and speech acts. Our mind hosts many interconnected attention networks, and the conscious part of our mind is associated with the giant connected component of the overall network. This conscious part does not necessarily even need to be central to the giant connected component. Whichever attention network shouts the loudest across the top of all other attention networks is considered the most important. Our consciousness is constituted by whichever attention network wins by dominating everything else. Hence, there is no actual thing that consciousness is, merely domination by a smaller attention network that succeeds in telling everything else that it is the most important. Interestingly, modern social media makes everything seem equally but maximally important, as does advertising. Language facilitates our memory by acting as a labelling system. If we can name a thing, we can conceive of it, and we use labels as a symbolic currency with which to engage in conscious thinking. Without this, we would be less able to efficiently identify the results of combinations of sensory inputs and relate them to abstract outcomes for prediction and modelling. We consume the words, pictures and sounds of mass media, representing the outside world, in the form of text, graphics, video and audio. We understand what that information means because labelled parts of that information are connected to other labelled parts of other information. This builds a model of understanding, much as if it were a physical model. Our ways of traversing the dynamic range of actions or possibilities in our model of understanding frequently borrows from the physical world of 3 dimensions. Time is represented by borrowing spatial analogies in our head. When someone explains something involving time, they'll use their hands to indicate spatial positions corresponding with temporospatial analogies in their mind. Emotional technology, such as robot AI, could feasibly convey concepts, knowledge, and meaning without necessarily using language in this manner. Robot inference engines could crisscross our existing bases of human knowledge to link up further connections and relationships in ways which we have not yet. Artificially derived meaning and understanding could accelerate inferred synthetic knowledge undiscovered by us. Thus, in this manner, robots may teach us. My name is Ian Tyndale. This is Our Robot Future. This episode is The Importance of Importance.